Okay, so back in the olden days, like when I was a teenager and not 22, I used to read a lot of fan fiction about anything, usually Yu-Gi-Oh, but yeah. So last night I stumbled upon this juicy fan fiction I just had to share, and there are no other words to describe it other than you're welcome. Alright. This is called Take Me Into Your Ark by RoboCop Jane. Wild times in the Old Testament. A true, a true stroke of genius from the cop. Rated M. No, seriously. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jesus' eyes widened an imperceivable amount as he took in the sight of Noah, naked, before him. Fumbling for something witty, he said, "So the ark's not the only bit of wood my father gave you." Noah grinned, his gray eyes flashing in lust. "Your father isn't the only one who gives me wood." Jesus laughed. "I can see that." He reached for the hem of his tunic and began to tug it roughly over his head, revealing his chiseled torso, a gift from his dad. Noah watched hungrily as he slipped out of the rest of his clothes, leaving them in a son of godly heap on the floor. Son of godly heap. What is this? I just started and I'm wondering, what is this? Jesus stopped when he was in his underwear, a little embarrassed. He was the son of the creator of the entire universe, and he couldn't get some decent boxer briefs. Noah's eyebrows shot up in acknowledgement of his Spider-Man pattern crotch. Okay. "It's a Christmas gift," he trailed off, hoping that was explanation enough. "Hey, no, it's okay," Noah smiled, his eyes creasing in amusement. I can't say mine are any better." He reached for his own pair, inside out on the dresser, and flipped them around so that Jesus could see more plainly the leopard print transfer. "I like 'em," Jesus cocked an eyebrow, considering how fitting it was that Noah should wear animal-printed boxers. "Do you have 2 pair of those as well?" Oh my gosh, you made a joke. Okay. Noah just smiled, tossing the underwear aside, and began to saunter forward lazily, completely unaware of the effect of the sight of his own throbbing member was having on Jesus, whose prominent holy erection was now shamelessly calling to him from within the red and blue briefs. Backing onto the cheap motel bed, nobody picked La Hotel de la Jeunesse, I think that's Hotel Genesis, for its luxury accommodation. There were strip clubs in downtown Nazareth with higher standards. Though Jesus let Noah remove his underwear with his teeth, letting out a fervent moan at the pressure of Noah's removal against his own quivering shaft. Jesus' eyes rolled back in his skull as Noah, as a reaction to his previous utterance, began to pursue the motion, soft sounds of pleasure emanating from the back of his throat. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay. "The beard," Jesus moaned quietly. "It tickles." He heard a soft laugh in reply as the older man crept forward, the two moving backwards together on the bed until Jesus' head was inches from the shabby fabric headboard. Noah began gentle caresses, pressing his lips to Jesus' washboard abs, slowly working his way down. Jesus cried in passion as Noah's lips reached his substantial manhood and began to fillet. He was a master with his tongue, caressing expertly with a sensitive yet dangerous touch. To Jesus' immense shame, it did not. Oh my gosh. He was a master of his tongue, caressing expertly with a sensitive yet dangerous touch. To Jesus' immense shame, it did not last very long at all. But Noah had other plans. Oh. The two began The two began to kiss passionately, locked in a fiery embrace on the dirty sheets. Jesus did things with his tongue that Noah had never felt before. His phallus quivered with the intensity of all of it. Jesus pulled back, lust aflame in his eyes. He leaned into Noah's ear and whispered in honeyed tones a final commandment. Thou shalt bend over. Oh my God, this can't be real. Okay. Noah compiled, and Jesus, the evidence of his passion completely recovered from his earlier omission, lowered his lips until they hovered, thighs tense with anticipation, behind Noah's smooth, toned backside. Like a wild, untamable beast, tense to spring, Jesus licked his swollen lips before thrusting forward with savage desire. He smiled at Noah's sharp intake of breath as he adjusted to the sheer size of Jesus' love sword. Holy shit. Just what it Yes, Noah cried out in passion. Jesus Christ. I'm right here, baby, Jesus grunted. Right here. For a while, the only sounds that filled the room were the steady, rhythmic creak of bed springs, the soft male panting and moaning from both men, and the gentle, intimate slap of skin on skin. Oh my gosh. Jesus' face was contorted with concentration and erotic pleasure, until finally he erupted in Noah's anal cavity. Boom. So finally, he erupted in Noah's anal cavity, letting loose an orgasmic cry. The two lay on the back. Oh my gosh. I need some water. Hold on, before I get started with this, I just need some water. Oh my gosh. The two lay back on the sheets, breathing heavily, wrapped loosely in each other's arms. Father, Jesus panted, forgive him. Noah laughed breathlessly, and the two lay there together on the edge of consciousness, listening to the music of the night wafting in through the high window. The decor of the room hinted at what may have once been a slight sense of grandeur. The curtain printed with a pattern of wine glasses, and fish. A loud shout from the distant night penetrated, not the only thing penetrated, the otherwise silent atmosphere. I think that's the sound of somebody being mugged, Jesus murmured, his brow creasing with tension. Well, that means there are miracles to perform. I'd better. He trailed off as he looked down and took in the sight of Noah, who had lapsed into unconsciousness. His lips parted with a slight smile. Disentangling himself from Noah's arms and rising gently from the bed, Jesus pulled the stained sheet up and covered his lover's body, leaning over to plant one last kiss on his forehead. The Son of God straightened up and reached for his Spider-Man boxer briefs. As he gazed down at Noah's sleeping form, Jesus smiled triumphantly to himself and whispered fervently into the night, I will come again. Okay, so, I don't know what to say. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm sure we learned a lot here today. Yeah.